Scrapwood challenge, Scrapwood challenge. It's scrap, it's firewood, but some of the wood is good.
Because it gets so hot in my workshop in the summer, I'm planning on building an outdoor workbench, and because that will be open to the elements, I won't be putting a vise on it. So that's the main reason for building this mini workbench. I'll be able to take that outside and it'll have plenty of clamping possibilities. I'll be using it in the workshop too because it brings the workpiece a little bit higher up and stops you hunching over your work. So for some tasks that would be very beneficial. A mini workbench could also be useful to somebody who hasn't got room for a full-size workbench. As long as you've got a small work surface to clamp the bench to, then you could use it to do most woodworking tasks. That's the main part of the bench pretty well ready to go. Now I need to prep some more timber for the vice jaws and the feet. I enlarged the mounting holes on the jaw, and I did that by working the drill bit from side to side, and the reason I've done that is to allow for any seasonal movement of the workbench top. This is my quick release vice mechanism. You may have seen it before. I did a video on it last year. It's very easy to make, and it's the vice that I'm going to install on this workbench. The only thing I've done different with the vice from the original build is I've put a copper bushing in there, and I made that from a piece of copper pipe. The fixings for these feet are exactly the same as what I did on the rear jaw, and again that's to allow for any movement. I kept these front feet very simple. I just cut them off camera and they just get screwed to the back of the fixed vice jaw. That's the main part of the bench pretty well done, and now it's time to move on to building and installing the vice. This part of the hub needs to be recessed into the front of the jaw, and I should have drilled that recess out first before I did that through hole, but with a template I can still do it now. If I remember correctly, I did exactly the same thing on the original vice build, so you'd think I would have learnt by now. If you've been wondering what these two square holes at the back are for, they're for guide rails, and that's for an extended workbench. I'm using this 1-inch box section as the rails. I've cut all the pieces off camera because it's basically the same as what I've already been doing, and they'll attach to the guide rails, and that will allow me to extend the workbench by a foot, even a little bit more than that. They took a bit of doing, but the dog holes are finished. All I need now is some dogs. I could leave the extension like that and just use it as a rest, but I'm going to make it so I can lock the guide bars into the bench, and I've already put dog holes in the end here, and that means I can extend the use of the dogs with the vise. I'm very happy with it. I'll have to see with use if there's anything I'd change. The only thing I can think of is I may add a shelf here to store the dogs in, but apart from that, I'm pretty happy with it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.